Check, check, check. Hello, test. Is this thing on? 1, 2, 3. Are you with me? This is an emergency broadcast of the Hub Morning Show. Why? We've got announcements to make today and an amazing all-star guest. We have a great guest from Karisma Resorts, the one and only Marilyn Cairo's on the show, and we've got big-time prizes to give away and another membership offer that's out there that will allow agents to get in for free and something for the suppliers. We'll share all of that exciting information later on in the show. But first, we want to check in. I'm Pat Miller, by the way, host of the Hub. You know me by now. Do I even need to say that? You know who I am. Let's say hello to Hub headquarters and our co-founder, Tom Brousseau. Tom, good morning. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well. Good morning. Yes, Pat, you are quickly becoming a minor celebrity in the travel industry.
Very minor.
Congratulations. But the good news is we have a major celebrity in the travel industry with us, Marilyn Cairo, who I got to spend some quality time with last week at the El Dorado Seaside Palms, a beautiful adults-only resort down Riviera towards Tulum. We had quite an experience, and that is very hard to duplicate. Like a lot of you, I'm a huge Karisma Resorts fan. I have been a member of their GIVC program for 10 years. I'd have to do the counting, but I think it's 9 or 10 years. So that really is one of the premier programs out there for agents, and really have enjoyed all the relationships that we've built with our Karisma Resort friends over the years. So with that, welcome so much, Marilyn. We're so glad that you're here, and I'll give it back to Pat. I know that he has some great things to talk about. And we'll also be open to any questions and so forth as we go forward.
That's the fun part here at the Hub, is if you've got a question, drop into the chat and we will include you in on the conversation with Marilyn. But let's just say hello. Marilyn, hi, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. So I was quiet. I didn't want to interrupt because I can, but thank you.
Well, we're excited to see you. Global sales for Karisma Resorts. And I have a lot of questions about what's going on, including an opening today. But before we do all that, can we show the overall video of Karisma? Would that be okay if we start there?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great. So I got to press a couple of buttons here for the Zoom to do the thing. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to do this. And here we go. This is the Karisma 60-second commercial, and it'll definitely make you want to travel. Marilyn, as the leader of sales, how does that make you feel to see all of your brands look so beautiful?
You know, that's actually one of the silver linings that came out of this pandemic, is that we focused in on our marketing materials and our messaging. And when you see it recapped like that, and obviously the catchy song helps, it does give you a sense of pride for the products that you represent. And I know many of the agents on here have been to our resorts, so you all understand that the video is only just a small portion, because once you get on property, it's a whole different feel. And the reality is it's brought to life by the staff. So it's, maybe to use the word proud, but it is something that you're very proud to show. So when Tom said, send over a video link, that's the first thing I was excited about, because it just sums it up in one.
Well, you mentioned a blessing in disguise, right? It's been such a tough year, but now to be moving forward with a new arsenal of marketing materials, you'll never regret investing that time, because you have so many exciting stories to tell. And I want to ask about Margaritaville and the other resorts that you have, but share the exciting news about the resort that's opening.
So today, Nickelodeon in Punta Cana finally opened its doors. It's been tough. And, this is a group that knows it, I'm not going to lie. Punta Cana as a destination is trying. It's trying to get back on its feet. It isn't rebounding as quickly as Mexico has, which I'm very grateful for, because a big chunk of what you guys sell and a big chunk of our portfolio is in Mexico. But Punta Cana is a beautiful destination, and to see it, you know, needing help, needing that push, we're excited to be able to open up. This is actually a local holiday weekend in the Dominican Republic, especially in Punta Cana. So it was timed according, you know, to also welcome back the local business. And just to see so much space left for the holidays, it hurts, right? But this is what the industry is dealing with, and we've got to just pull together. And I'm grateful that ownership said, you know, trusted in the sales team enough to say, we're opening, even though occupancy doesn't look great, but we've got to take the plunge and get ready for winter.
And the nice thing about the morning show is we have some all-star agents on the call today. So give us your sales pitch for the Nickelodeon Resort. Tell us about what makes it special and why we should book our travelers to it.
That's a great question. And I think one of the things that I've seen, and I'll put Nickelodeon aside for just a second. One of the things I've seen, and many of you will agree, is the fact that price is not important to many travelers right now. Yes, they still love a great deal, but they're looking for reassurance. They're looking for quality. They're looking for commitment from the brand. And I think above all, they're looking for the travel agent's buy-in into that brand. How do you feel about that brand? You know, how do you pitch it? How do you promote it? Because that speaks volumes. Then if you mix in a brand like Nickelodeon, right? It's worldwide recognized brand. It's a consumer-driven brand, because whether we have kids, grandkids, nieces, or nephews, we all know the characters to some degree. So that is, for me, you know, one of those what I call B2C brands that I think is important to have as a hotel portfolio, because it makes the introduction of it a little bit simpler or a little bit easier to sell. And I think we need to focus less on price point and sell more into the added values. Not just this brand, any hotel brand. You know, what are you buying? Are you buying peace of mind? Are you buying sense of security for your family? You know, Nickelodeon is on a little under 250 suites. That's huge. You know, we're not a big box hotel. It's very boutique style. I've been there. And, you know, one of the things I liked about it, it wasn't Nickelodeon in my face all the time. And I don't want the characters all the time. So just to be able to have the water park on one side of the resort separated from the rooms and the restaurants was a breath of fresh air. And I see a couple of heads shaking because you've been there and you've seen it. And I got to be honest with you, Pat, if I went there, if the company said to me, you and your husband are going to Punta Cana this weekend and staying at Nickelodeon, I wouldn't think twice about it. Because even as an adult, I know I would have a great time. I don't even have to venture to the water park. I don't have to see the characters. I know what the property offers, and I know it'll be a great experience, even for just two adults.
It's excellent information to share, because if we have children, would love to go someplace that the kids would enjoy, but we don't want to go to a kid's place. And there's a huge difference between those two things. The other thing that you said that I want to make sure we highlight, Tom and I and the other Hub stars have been just preaching, agents will lead the way, agents will lead the way. And right now, more than ever, the true difference between buying your own travel online or working with an agent is that trust. Who's doing it right? Where should I go? And I think you're right. It is a lot less about price right now than it is knowing that it's a good place to go. Lori's in the chat. She's curious about Nick Riviera Maya. Any updates on that, when that might open?
We're looking at the summer. I don't have an exact date that I can share. Internally, we do have a date. It's not one that I can share, but there's a lot of chatter going on internally about the product. Are we doing a soft opening and inviting agents down? Because that hotel is owned by Senor Dolores and Senor Martinez, the Nickelodeon Riviera Maya, which, by the way, it's a Mexican-owned company, true Mexicans that are owning a huge brand monitored by Viacom. So when you think about the magnitude of what those two individuals are bringing to Mexico is huge. And I always mention that because we take it for granted, and I really shouldn't, and we shouldn't either. Even what they're bringing locally for the people of Mexico. The water park is huge. It's underway. They've got the blimp up. The Nickelodeon blimp is up. The suites, they're all done. It's just now interior touches, which they're waiting on in order not to have the rooms ready and the water park not, because then it becomes an issue of air conditioning and et cetera, et cetera. So many things I've learned, I got to tell you, with this construction phase of Nickelodeon Riviera Maya. But we are looking for a summer opening. We're excited. We are still in talks about having agents down for a soft opening, flushing toilets, opening doors, going to the water park, going down the slides, you know, tasting the food, enjoying the amphitheater. We're even talking about doing our GIVC event in 2021 at Nickelodeon, because it's got a 500-person amphitheater. So in terms of the setting, that would be great. Plus, you're still next door to Generations and the Eldorados, right along the beachfront. So that property is going to be a big one for us next year. And then add into that, we have 2 Margaritavilles opening next year as well. So I don't know what's going to be left of me in 2021, because it's going to be, I'm going to be selling my soul, I think.
Yeah. The hub has been live since essentially mid-July. And that's when I was introduced to the travel industry, because I was not an agent or in a supplier. This is all.
And you didn't run, Pat?
What's that?
You didn't run?
No, I ran into the fire, right? Like the first responders come in to help, right? I'm a helper. But what I'm going to say is that the first show that I did like this for the hub was with Senora Dolores.
Oh, yeah.
And as I've been hanging around the hub and meeting more people from the Karisma organization, person after person after person, you don't have fans, you have evangelists. So if you have people on the call today that don't know what Karisma is about and why it's different, can you just share with us what makes it special?
It's the people, plain and simple. It's one word. I always tell agents, we're not the shiniest penny in the drawer. We may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but if you're looking for somebody who's going to stand next to you and run into the fire with you, then that's why you support Karisma. Yeah. How many of you have landed in Cancun and received a phone call from Senora Dolores? I landed in Cancun was it last week or 2 weeks ago, October 22nd. My flight landed at 10 p.m., right? Because I took the last flight in. Guess who called me as I landed? Senora Dolores to welcome me to Mexico. She should be in bed at 10 p.m., but she wasn't, and she does that with everyone. When agents left on October 28th, guess who was at the airport saying bye to them? Senora Dolores. That doesn't go unnoticed by the agents, and they know that. If you want someone that's going to have your back, then you sell a Karisma property. And that's something that we as a sales team have embraced. And I tell all my sales managers, forget about using the right words. Be honest, be transparent, connect with your accounts, because that's what's really going to matter in the end.
So let's talk about what's new and exciting. You mentioned 2021 has a lot of exciting change as we're talking with our clients. What's new, what's different, what's exciting? We talked about Nick, but what about the other amazing resorts? Like, what do we have to look forward to?
We've got 2 Margaritavilles that are opening up. We've got the Margaritaville, the second one that's opening up in Riviera Maya, right next to the current Margaritaville. And we've got Margaritaville in Cap Cana in the Dominican Republic, which most agents know Cap Cana is that real nice side of the DR. So we've got a Margaritaville there. I will tell you this, I went to our Margaritaville, the only one we have open right now, last week. And I was supposed to get there for a 2-night stay, but the hurricane, etc. So I was only able to stay a day. I myself had reservations about it, didn't know what to expect. And when I walked in, all I did was walk in and they greeted me at the front desk, you know, to check me in. And I literally looked at the person I was traveling with and said, this is my vibe. There was music playing. It was laid back. The staff was friendly. Instead of a glass of champagne, which is not my vibe, they had a Margaritaville popsicle that they served you. They gave you flip-flops when you checked in. Honestly, it was amazing. It was amazing. At night, there was live music in the bar area. People were singing, they were happy. And I'm a huge fan of live music and singing by a bar, right? So I was in heaven for that. There was the Rita's Taco Shop out on the beach. You have sand in your feet, you're eating tacos, you have a cold beer. That's my vibe. And I think that's the vibe of what everybody needs in 2020. And that's the message that we're trying to carry through with our other Margaritavilles. The other thing is, it's the only all-inclusive Margaritavilles, Island Reserve. And just to give you a little bit of history, why Island Reserve? Well, in the world of Margaritaville as a brand, and we all know that it's a Jimmy Buffett brand, etc., he has a clothing line, and his clothing line has an upscale version, which is Island Reserve. So when we formed the partnership, we said, we want to be the hospitality arm. Just like you have a luxury clothing line, we want to be the luxury arm of your hospitality brand. And that's why we came to the agreement of Island Reserve. And it's what sets us apart. And I'm excited because these agents that are here, and that come to our GIVC next year, including our tour operator partners, they'll get to live it, breathe it, and see it. So we're excited to share it.
So let's stay on that theme of the high-end experience. I've seen you say gourmet inclusive instead of all inclusive. Can you explain the difference and why someone would want it?
I'm a big foodie. I'm sure many people will agree. They are as well. And really and truly, when Karisma first started into the hospitality scene, everybody was termed all inclusive, super inclusive, ultra all inclusive. And we wanted to do something a little different. We figured food was a great opportunity to separate ourselves. And you think about it, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have 3 opportunities to wow someone. That's not including any snacks, any drinks throughout the day. And we literally coined ourselves as Gourmet All Inclusive, and that's the road we've taken. We focus in on not just the quality of the food, but the service as well, which has now extended into pop-up corners, our culinary theaters, our overwater restaurant, Le Chic, which is an author's cuisine. You can get up to 21 courses, which are amazing. So really that's where we focus in on, because it's that touch point that you have with the client at least 3 times a day.
So if you have questions for Marilyn, drop into the chat. She's got a hard stop in a few minutes, so we're running out of time. But if you want to be included, we'd love to have you on the call. Marilyn, you're in front of Hubstars. We're going to tape this interview and put it up inside the vault so anyone can see it forever. Anything that we haven't talked about that people really need to know about Karisma and why we should send our clients to you as opposed to other places?
I think what it comes down to is we will always do our best to make agents shine. We will always do our best to make our tour operator partners shine as well. A lot of times tour operators are the advocates on behalf of the travel agents, and we listen to them. We've been working very closely with our partners. Every single travel agent on here, I would say about 90% of you have been very vocal with us. You know, we don't always get it right, but we always listen and we always try and do our best the next time around. And our main goal is to evolve and grow. It's actually a chapter that I've taken from the many times that I've been fortunate enough to spend with our ownership, including Senora Dolores, is you always have to put your best foot forward. You always remember your brand. And you always remember the people that are with you from the very, very beginning. So I think that's huge for us. I think partnerships are going to be a big one in 2021, Pat. And I think agents on this phone are starting to see more than ever this year, as the dust settles, who are the true partners? You know, who was there with me? Who disappeared? Who picked up the phone when it was a nasty email, but still said, you know what, I got to face this and we're going to get through it together. And I've had my fair share of those, and we've worked through them. And in the end, what matters is that we come through together, bottom line. So I think 2021 is going to be a big eye-opener for many.
And Marilyn, to that point, that's why the Hub is here, right? Mm-hmm. We are here to be your partner and to promote the entire industry and help us grow and move forward on our path to prosperity. Tom, you have a question for Marilyn? Go ahead.
Yes. Well, I just really wanted to say I totally agree with the partnership alignment that Marilyn just mentioned. You guys have been here with us on the Hub since day one, and for me personally as an agent, going back a long, long time to like 2 previous lives, I think. But one of the key things I think that people should know that we didn't touch on today is, the wedding team at Karisma is outstanding. Valeria Martinez and her team. And I bet you over the years, I've done maybe 15 or to 20 destination weddings at Karisma properties. And I really think that's one of the hallmarks of what they do as a company. They do such a great job with destination weddings. And I think for all of us, destination weddings, I think, are going to be a big opportunity. The traditional, 200, 300 person weddings are probably not going to be viable for a while in a lot of places. So I think our clients are going to be looking for ways to do, smaller wedding settings, affordably. So, I think that's definitely a focus for us, and just know that if that is a focus of what you do in your business, the wedding team at Karisma really is top notch.
Thank you.
Marilyn, it's always a pleasure to have the folks from Karisma on the show. Thank you for taking the time. I'm sure you have the world to go conquer, so we'll let you go do that. But thank you so much for the time and for sharing what you did today.
Hey,
I appreciate it, guys.
Hey, Pat, before we let her go, we have to talk about her one last time.
Okay.
She still has 8 minutes, but I'll be fast.
You know what? I'm going to interrupt you because Lynn is here from Classic, and I want to say one thing, and this is not because Lynn is here, and I'm glad you brought it up, Tom. the silver lining for us in 2020, when I've, stood up in ownership meetings and we've looked at production reports, right, and budgets and all that, the one silver lining has been our wedding and group business. Right now, we are pacing ahead 7% in 2021 versus 2019 for groups and weddings. And I want to say Classic is a big part of that. And I know many agents favor the Classic team because of their group service. So for any of you guys out there that book groups, know that we're pacing ahead. It can't just be me. I've spoken to Hard Rock, I've spoken to Palace and our competitors. And I just want to say we're not competitors this year, right? Because we're all literally in the trenches fighting the same fight. We're all pacing ahead in that segment. And I think it's important to capitalize on it, Tom. So I'm glad you brought it up. Yes, we're big in weddings, but even social groups are starting to pick up for us. And they're small. By the way, when people say group, you think 10, 15, 20 rooms. Guys, 5 rooms. I'd be happy with that. 5 at a time. It'll add up to 25 bookings. It'll add up to, 50 bookings. We don't got to go big. We just got to start somewhere.
Well, one last thing we want to get in while you're here with us, Marilyn, is that Karisma is going to be partnering with us. Tom, do you want to make the announcement while we have Marilyn on the horn here? Because this is kind of exciting. Now, this is one of the big announcements we were going to share today. So, Tom, take it away.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, speaking of going big, as you guys know, we had the Hubtoberfest promotion. We added almost 300 agents to the Hub group, which is phenomenal. And we teased it a little bit on our Tuesday call, but we are very pleased to announce that thanks to Charisma Resorts and to Lomas Travel Group, we are going to be continuing the Agents Hub Free promo with what we are calling the Fall Fiesta. So we are going to continue to have agents signing up for a 1-year free membership on the Hub, which I think is phenomenal. And we really want to thank our friends at Charisma and Lomas Travel Group for their support with that. Charisma Resorts has a really nice 3-night stay that they're going to give to one of the lucky hubsters, as Elliot calls them. And then speaking of Elliot, they have added a round trip luxury limousine transfer to that prize giveaway. So all of you on the Hub, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues and coworkers that aren't quite on the Hub yet to please join us, because for the month of November, it's the Fall Fiesta and Agents Hub Free again. So super excited about that.
So I was excited to talk to you, Marilyn, and now that we've announced this, now I'm double excited. So this is fantastic. So thank you for your support and partnership. We appreciate it, and we'll do everything we can to support you as well. So thank you for the time today, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
I appreciate you guys, and I think what you're doing, Pat and Tom, deserves a big round of applause, because you're uniting agents at a time where we need it the most. You're giving honest conversations, a platform to share honest conversations. So to me, I think this is very unique. It's not anything you have in the industry, especially for agents. And it's an opportunity for us to network with people that are on opposite sides of the world with us, right? Because we're not all right next door to each other. So my hat's off to you guys for doing something different, because I think that's scary in itself, and for really just sticking through it. So please know that anything we can do, and I know I speak on behalf of every agent on here and even our competing hotel partners, we're here for you. And so we wish you the best, and we're fighting that good fight right along with you.
Oh yeah, we're here to make sure that 12 months from now, we can't keep up. We're all so busy.
I know.
So thank you, Marilyn. We appreciate it. All right,
My
Tom,
pleasure.
we've got another great announcement to do. Tell us about the other announcement, because this is big.
Yes. Okay. So as we talked about, the Hubtoberfest promotion ended in October, at the end of October, and in case you forgot, we had some great prizes there too. So our friends at Playa Resorts and Virgin Voyages, Andrea Wright and John Diorio, who have been really our champions on this from the start, and along with Charisma and Lomas and some of the other suppliers that have been here with us, they had some prize giveaways for the Hubtoberfest, and we are pleased to announce today the 2 winners who were 100% completely randomly drawn, by the way.
By a third party, by an independent third party.
Susie Moon, one of our team members. So we are very pleased to announce that the winners of those 2 prize giveaways are Susan Peavy, who is on the call today.
Oh,
look how happy she is.
Oh, wow.
So I will follow up with you, Susan. And then the second prize winner was and this is a great one because Molly Friend has been such a great hub member. You know, she probably is, along with like Jen Evans and Jennifer Waldron and a couple others that have been winning the attendance award, you know, for how engaged they are and, you know, the shows that they make. So congratulations, Molly Friend, Susan Peavy. You guys are the winners of the 2 prizes. And so I will follow up with both of you so that you know which prize you won and you have the information that you need for that. And congratulations. That is just awesome.
Now, Tom, I know we're sorting out who won what, but this isn't like a bag of socks and like an eraser. Like these are nice prizes, right? Can you tell us what they were? Do you remember?
It's a 3-night stay at the Secrets Cap Cana or excuse me, the Secrets Hyatt, or not, I'm such an idiot. At the Hyatt, Ziva Zalara in Punta Cana, and a guaranteed spot on the Virgin inaugural. So those were the 2 prizes, and really great ones. You're right, not socks. Absolutely not.
Not socks.
Yeah. So thanks to Fire Resorts, and thank you to Virgin Voyages.
Now we have to do that. We have to come up with a bag of socks giveaway. We'll do that at some point in our hub life. So Susan, are you the type of person that has never won anything, or are you a lucky cat by nature?
I'm not very lucky, so this is wonderful. I'm really excited.
Yay!
Yeah,
well,
that is awesome.
Similar to what Tom said about Molly, thank you for your support and helping us get off the ground here. It's great to see you again today, and congrats. Thanks for being a hub member.
Thank you. Love it.
All right, Tom, anything else about the giveaways you want to hit on? Because I want to go and do a quick
no,
demo
nothing
on
about
how
the
to bring.
giveaways, but we have one last exciting announcement about next week's morning show. So before we go, we got to make sure we hit on that.
All right, so hold that thought for a second. Let's talk about the Fall Fiesta. So the Fall Fiesta will allow you to invite your top-level agent friends and connections into the hub so they can enjoy 12 months free. And if you're new to the hub, that sounds great, Pat. How do I do it? All right, let me show you. Log into the hub and you click members. Once you're inside members, there's this button up here that says invite. Once you do that, boom. You can drop their email address right here, and you can alter this thing to say, you should come hang out at the hub because I hear they're getting hub socks. Or you can come down here to the bottom and send a share link, and you just click copy, and then you can drop that into an email or whatever way you connect with your friend or contacts. You can send that right there. And Tom, if I'm not mistaken, don't we have someone that's gone to 25 members already? We have a gold status ambassador.
Yeah, we do. Ruby Stanfield. She has definitely, she's been bringing it. You know, she has been, and she's on the call today. There she is. She's been bringing it and inviting her ICs, sharing the information about the hub with other agents and colleagues. So Ruby's been doing an awesome job. Jen Evans has big numbers. Jen Waldron has big numbers. Lori Gold really has done a fantastic job. Jennifer Waldron. You know, those referrals are so great. We all know in our business that, you know, when you get a referral or you get a recommendation from a colleague, that means a lot. It means a lot more than my promotional Facebook post or an email or whatever it might be. So
sure,
those referrals are huge.
Well, Ruby, that means you get to go through the buffet line first, being a gold ambassador. So thank you for that. So again, we click members, we click invite, and then you do the thing. There's one more thing I want to show you while we're just showing the site real quick. When you log in and you see this nice long feed, you know, Tom and Steve and some others that are part of the team, you know, we're trying to put up some interesting stuff to talk about, but this is your resource too. I don't want you to think, oh, only the hub moderators post here. No, this is a feed and a conversation for you to share whatever is on your mind. So please jump into this and share. You see an article, share it with us. There's a video you want to share it with us. You want to have a poll. Hey, I've got a client that's really poking around about price. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, are your clients asking about price? Like, this is a place where we can collaborate and work along with each other. So I'm encouraging you to go in there and use it. This is an open conversation. And the reason why we're harping on this is when people start posting, people will start posting. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more we start talking, the better the conversation gets. So please make a point to jump in there and share your thoughts. Now, Tom, before we sign off, one more announcement. I don't know if I can take it.
Me neither. I can't stand it. It's just too much. I gotta go. I need to go take a nap. Um, so what I would like everyone to do is please mark your calendars for next Thursday, because we have a really awesome guest on the Hub Morning Show. And please note that we're going to change the time up a little bit. For next Thursday, we're going to be at 3:30 Central. But this is so timely, as a follow-up to our conversation on Tuesday with John Diorio and with Galen Matthews from Royal Caribbean. On Thursday's morning show, our guest is going to be Vicki Freed, who is the Senior Vice President of Sales for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. And we are so excited to have her. As you guys all know, she's very much an icon in our industry and icon in the cruise industry. And we have a lot to talk about on the cruise side of things. And she's a great advocate and really a champion for travel agents. And she sent us some really good vibes and positive feedback on the Hub. So I'm so glad to have her as a morning show guest. So please mark your calendars, tell your friends. We want to make sure we get a really big audience for Vicki Freed from Royal Caribbean, because I know that's going to be awesome.
And it's exciting too, because I have 7 whole days to get ready so I don't ask a stupid question, which is going to be great. Like, I don't call them boats this time, right? Like I did last time. Don't call them boats, you moron. All right.
Yes.
Hey, look who showed up. Our friend, Molly Friend. Tom, you have news for Molly Friend. She missed it.
Molly Friend, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I am so sorry. I had, luckily, a long-winded client. So...
All right.
So here's the situation. We gave away the prize for one of the prizes for the Hubtoberfest program that we had. Remember, we had a prize giveaway from Playa Resorts at the Hyatt,
Yes.
Ziva Zilara, Punta Cana, and we had a guaranteed spot on the Virgin Voyages cruise. And
Yes.
you were one of the winners. But unfortunately, you had to be present to win on the call. No, I'm only kidding. You didn't have to be present to win, but I said, Molly, that you have done such a great job and been such a loyal Hub participant. And when I saw that your name was picked, it made me really, really happy.
Well, I'm ecstatic. Absolutely ecstatic. That's
Well,
wonderful.
good. I'm glad. So we'll follow up with you. I'm glad you made it. We all have long-winded clients we have to deal with sometimes. So
Yeah.
You're here, and congrats and thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And I just don't know how much I can express how the Hub has uplifted my spirits through all this. So it's been wonderful.
It's amazing. Molly, thank you for coming, and congratulations, and congrats on the client. Let's talk about that. Yeah, that's great. All right, Tom, big show. You're right. I got to go take a nap and get ordering those Hub socks. So I got work to do. Everybody else, you've got work to do. A giant thank you to Marilyn Cairo, VP of Global Sales for Karisma. She's epic. And thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate it. That's the Hub Morning Show for Thursday, November 5th. A fast, fun check-in with the travel industry. We'll see you next week on this date for our big interview with Vicki. So until then, I'm Pat Miller, host of The Hub. Great to see you. Have a great day.